All right, my next guest is Coreen Campos, the CEO of Focus Forward. We were just talking before we came back as to what you do. You're a nonprofit.
Yes.
And involved in lots of youth programs. You have a magazine.
Yes.
You take it away. Tell me about Focus Forward.
All right. So Focus Forward, it is a nonprofit or a community benefit agency. We exist solely to serve youth in Fresno County foster care and juvenile justice systems. Our whole vision is to see every youth coming out of Fresno County systems with success and positive outcomes. It's far too often that our youth end up in some of the negative adult justice systems or homeless or their teen parents struggling to overcome some of those obstacles. And so we're actually located, our offices are located inside the juvenile justice campus or the juvenile hall.
That makes it convenient.
It sure does. We have direct access to the youth, and we're, I serve on the Fresno County Foster Care and Oversight Committee, so I'm working a lot with the foster care directors and things of that nature. And so we are connected and here to make a positive impact on the youth. Some of our programs that we offer include mentoring. It's a research-based mentoring program. We do art programming. We recently have a partnership to help support youth in going to college and getting employment, so we're working on that right now. And as you mentioned, our magazine, we publish an annual Focus Forward magazine. The 2015 magazine will be Focus Forward Stories of Hope. And I'll tell you a little bit about this magazine.
Okay.
These stories in the magazine are adults who had formerly gone through either the foster care or juvenile justice system and are now successful. And they're so incredible. We have people in there who are executive directors, like myself, doctors, chaplains, all sorts of success. And in fact, I'm very excited that I will be featured in this year's magazine, which will be launching this spring, as I was formerly in foster care here in Fresno County as well. And so it's free to the public and to our youth, and we accept sponsorships, and that's how we're able to support these stories. Some of the judges have the youth read these stories. All of the youth in the juvenile justice campus have access to read these inspirational stories of hope. And this year, because we've learned that in serving our youth, it's also about helping change their environments that they're in. So we are broadening our stories of hope. So we're accepting additional stories of successful adults who've overcome obstacles, even if it's outside of the county systems, but from Fresno. So I'm very excited to announce that expansion. So we are open for the community to send stories if they're interested in being featured.
Okay. So you're not in the business of hooking the young people up with foster families.
No.
There are lots of agencies that do that.
Yes.
You're taking a different avenue.
Yes, our avenue, thank you for that clarification. Our avenue is really about programming. We want to see all of our youth have access to a positive mentor and a role model. If they're a teen parent, we have our Bright Futures parenting program where they get parenting classes, and this is really cool, where we have youth who are incarcerated who get to have visits while they're incarcerated with their infant or baby if they're a teen parent, and that gets anonymously studied by Georgetown University to examine the effectiveness of the bond. And I'll tell you why that's so special, because if a teen parent is incarcerated, their infant or child, 0 to 5, is 7 times more likely to be an offender and be incarcerated themselves.
Yikes.
And I will tell you, as a mother of a 15-month-old daughter, it is magic to see those sessions happen with our volunteers facilitating those and our Bright Futures program manager. It's just such a beautiful partnership we have with First Five to be able to do that. So.
But don't the kids say, why is my daddy locked up? How do they get around that part of it?
So for a lot of our teens, they are teen parents, so their babies are so small. In some cases,
they're not thinking those things yet.
Yeah, not quite. And so I will tell you sometimes, but the feeling is still there. So sometimes it's very disheartening. I've seen these sessions happen because I like to really be connected with the programs and the work that we do from an administrative level. And so I've watched some of these sessions, and sometimes that's the case. Sometimes you have an infant who's visiting their teen teen parent father, and maybe the baby was born while they were in custody, or maybe the last time they saw the baby was just a couple months old, right? And so the baby doesn't recognize them at first and is crying. Sometimes we'll need to have whoever's caring for the baby at home, the care provider, in there with them. And probation is such a great partner in helping us get that happen, make that happen. And so, but it's amazing to watch over the sessions that the babies will warm up, and that's really what we're there for, is to keep that bond strong and to support that teen parent to make sure that they can do the best that they can. And in the meantime, we're also helping them with employment and educational goals. So it's really kind of a full supportive service model, because we want to help them in every way possible to wrap them with love and support.
All right. Well, again, you yourself are someone who's going to be profiled because you were in the system,
Yes.
and now you're the CEO of Focus Forward.
Yes.
So you're living proof that you can survive that system and come out okay. And I look forward to seeing your article when it's in there.
Yes, thank you. I'll bring some magazines by.
Please come back, when the new one comes out. So you want people in the community, if they were in the foster care system and are now successful, to get a hold of you so you can tell their story?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do they find you?
So our website is www.focusforward.org, and our main line is 600-4961. That's our main line. It's also at my desk, so I'll be right there answering. We do a lot with very little, and so those are the best ways to get a hold of us.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a good thing you're doing.
Thank you for that.
I like it.
Thank
All right.
you.
Coreen Campos, the CEO of Focus Forward, right here on Central Valley Talk.